The date to remember is Thursday, March the 20th. It's the start of the flat and therefore of a new season of racing here on Channel 4, and that'll again include exclusive coverage of all 5 classics. It's a season with a lot more than the classics to look forward to. There's Pebbles, Racehorse of the Year, defending the crown. She won both here and in America. Slip Anchor, the runaway Derby winner, back to take on all comers. Steve Cawthon, champion jockey for the past 2 years, determined to hang on.
Couple of minutes, it's the world of Squeers and Smike, of Vincent Crummles and Newman Noggs, the Cheerables and their like. Yes, we continue our season of Dickens with Nicholas Nickleby, directed for Ealing in 47 by Alberto Cavalcanti. A marvellous picture of a cruel world that the innocent must struggle through, with a cast that reads like a roll of honour from British theatre's Who's Who. Among those taking part, you'll find Cedric Hardwicke and Stanley Holloway, Sybil Thorndike, Faye Compton and many more. It's a great way to start the day. At 4:30, it's The Gong Show. Chuck Barris is always your host, where fame lies ahead for the favoured few, but a noisy death for most. We stay in America at 5 o'clock for our second film, Pin-Up Girl, with Betty Grable in the title role, setting GI's heads in a whirl. She plays a forces secretary who has fantasies of fame. Then she falls in love with a hero GI and is forced to act out the same. She poses as a singing star, and surprise, surprise, when love brings her to the sticking point, it turns out her lies are no lies. At 6:30, we head for Brighton for news from the TUC, followed by Channel 4 News and Comment, and at 8, the 2CV, the Deux Chevaux, the Tin Snail, famous and French, though not fast, is the subject of Equinox, and being a snail, it comes last. We'll cross the Atlantic in a couple of minutes for a cheerful Betty Grable musical about the secretary who wants to be a star. All it takes is a few tall stories, some nerve, and the fact that she's everybody's pin-up girl. In Hollywood in the 40s, there was one pin-up girl in particular who caught the imagination of fighters at home and abroad. Betty Grable.
Seas, such as the double star-shaped predatory sea slug Glaucus, which feeds on poisonous jellyfish. There are no such hazards at 2 o'clock when Victor Mature discovers Betty Grable on a tiny Hawaiian island paradise, complete with garlands of flowers, hip-swaying Hawaiians, palm trees and glorious technicolor in the musical Song of the Islands. Inspector Hornley goes to it after that in a comedy thriller involving the army, a nest of spies and some missing supplies. Gordon Harker plays the inspector with Alistair Sim as his long-suffering sergeant at 3 o'clock. 3:30 in fact. 5:05 sees the omnibus edition of Brookside, after which at 6 Family Ties finds Alex in a tangle when he makes a blind date with a woman old enough to be his mother. And if you're old enough to remember the Detroit Emeralds and Edwin Starr, then you're in for an unforgettable treat at 6:30. And those are programmes for the early part of Saturday here on 4.